Hola y buenos días. Soy yo, el señor Morris. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Ahora vamos a cantar nuestra canción de saludos. Canten conmigo. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo están ustedes? ¿Cómo se sienten? Yo me siento bien. Muy bien cantado. Today, we'll be reviewing some of the things that we've been discussing up to now in this unit. We'll look at the number system in Spanish, and we're going to do another activity sheet. But let's begin by looking at the calendar. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions in Spanish, and I'm going to kind of tell you the answers. Okay? And I'd like you to repeat to see if you can kind of figure out what I'm saying. ¿Listos? The first question is, ¿cuál es la fecha de hoy? ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? Now, when I ask you this question, you're going to use the calendar to find the date. Okay? And when you find it, you'll answer in this form. You'll say, hoy es, and then you'll say what day it is, and then you'll say the number of the day and day of whichever month it's in. Okay? For example, if today were a Monday, and you see on this calendar, Monday is the first day of the week, lunes. If it were a Monday and it were the 5th of September, I would answer like this. Hoy es lunes 5 de septiembre. Okay. You see how that works? The day, then the date, and then of, de, and the month. Here's another question that you can answer using the calendar. That question is, ¿cuáles son los días de la semana? ¿Cuáles son los días de la semana? And the answer is right up here along the top. And the answer is lunes, martes, miércoles, repitan todos, jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo. Now, domingo is Sunday. That's the last day of the week on the Spanish calendar. It's usually the first day on our English calendar. So that's something a little bit different. And you might want to write these down in your notebook so that you can refer to them. And you know what? We have a song to help you go over the days of the week in Spanish. And it goes like this. Hay 7 días en una semana, los vamos a nombrar. Help me out here, guys. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Hey, that's very good. Now, I'd like for you to go over the date every day in Spanish in your classrooms. Those of you in the upper grade should have no problem with this. And you know what? It's a very good way to continue using your Spanish, which is the best way to learn it after all. Well, muy bien. Right now, I'd like everyone to get into their groups of 3 again so that we can go over the dialogue that we've been talking about. Okay? So get into your groups of 3. Get into your groups of 3 now. And I tell you what, instead of getting into your groups of 3, why don't you all do what I did yesterday, and you can play all 3 parts. Okay, for one you'll stand over here, for another you'll stand over here, and for the third person you'll stand over here. You ready? Okay, everybody follow along with me. Number 1, hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Repitan. Okay, number 2, you answer. Me llamo Roberto Morris. Okay, and use your own name. Use your Spanish name. Okay, number 1. Everybody jump? Okay, good. ¿Cómo estás? Repitan. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, and then you answer. You're number 2 now. Estoy bien. Repitan. Estoy bien. Okay, number 1. Ready? ¿Cómo se llama tu amigo? Or if it's a girl, remember you say amiga. Repitan todos. ¿Cómo se llama tu amigo? Okay, number 2. Te presento a Scott. Repitan. Te presento a Scott. Okay, now you're person number 3. And person number 3 says, mucho gusto. Repitan. Mucho gusto. Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And person number 1, you're going to answer, el gusto es mío. Okay, very good. You know, this is pretty common. As a matter of fact, I was out the other day in the park when I saw some guys greeting each other. And I got it on tape, and I'd like you to see it right now. Ahora, presten atención y repitan todos. Ahora, vamos a repasar los saludos otra vez. Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Roberto.
¿Cómo estás?
Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo estás?
Estoy bien, gracias.
¿Cómo se llama tu amigo? Él.
Te presento a Scott.
Mucho gusto.
El gusto es mío.
Pues, adiós.
Adiós. Adiós. Adiós. Adiós. Muy bien. Now, keep practicing this in your classes with whomever you can. And if you'd like a challenge, try to change around the way that you feel and say hello and goodbye in different ways. Now, when we were looking at the calendar, we talked about the date. And what do we need to know to be able to talk about the date? Tell your teacher, what do we need to know? We need to know the days of the week, right? We need to know the months, and we're going to talk about those in a lesson. And we need to know the numbers. That's right, the numbers. Now, in Spanish, numbers are a cognate. They're called números. Repitan todos. Números. Well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and look at the numbers right now in Spanish. Okay? And let's start off with these. Well, we're going to start off here, and a lot of these may sound familiar to you if you know some of the numbers in Spanish already. Okay, cero. Right, that's pretty easy. Cero. Okay, now I'm just going to go over these. You might want to write these down in your notebooks. Okay, and you might be familiar with these already. Uno. Repitan. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. Cinco. Seis. Siete. Ocho. Nueve. Now, look at these, because these numbers are going to be the basis for all of the numbers that we talk about. Dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Okay, those are going to be the basis for all of the numbers that we talk about. Now, just like in English, after you get to 10, from 10 to 20, in English we have the teens. In Spanish, they have a little bit of a different numbering system also. And it goes like this. Diez. Repitan. Okay, and that's a 10. Now, just like we have numbers that aren't really related, it's not 10 and 1, we say 11. Well, they do the same in Spanish. They don't really have a system for naming these. But it goes once. Repitan. Doce. Repitan. And you see the dos is the basis for doce. Then we have trece. Repitan. And again we see tres and trece. Then we have catorce. Repitan. Okay, and remember this started off with, this was cuatro, so we see the cuatro, catorce there. Okay, then we have quince. Repitan. Okay, and this came from cinco, right? Now the number system gets really regular. What we do here is we say 10 and 6. So here's 10, and here's 6. And in between we have y, which means and. So here we have 16. Repitan. Then we have 17. Then 18. Then 19. So those are really easy starting right there. From here on down, we're just saying 10 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9. Okay. Now, after these teens, or the numbers from 10 to 19, we talk about the tens, the multiples of 10. And we've already looked at this one, 10. Okay, then we have 20. Repitan. 30. Repitan. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. Now, you see a lot of these numbers in the tens group end with this same NTA ending. You see all this? And a lot of times, the first part is related to the digits from the ones that we talked to from 0 to 9. So 3 becomes 30, 4, 40, 5, 50, 6, it has S and the S sound, 60, 7, 70. Okay. 8 becomes 80, and 9 becomes 90. And then after that, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then we have 100. 100. Muy bien. Well, I tell you what. Ahora quiero que repasen otra vez con este video los números. Presten atención y repitan todos. Los números. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, very good. Try using those numbers in your class. Teachers, on the vocabulary and useful phrases for teachers pages in your Learning Partner Guidelines, it has a couple of lines on using addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So with that vocabulary and the numbers, you can go over your number facts and things now in Spanish. That might be a real help to you. Right now, I'd like you to take a look at the activity sheet for today. It's called El Calendario. Here we go, another cognate, El Calendario, the calendar. And it looks like this. There are 2 pages. The first page looks like this, and it's got all of the squares cut out on it, and it's divided up to look like a calendar. And the second page has all of these on them. It has the days of the week, and it has the months of the year. Now you'll see that most of these month names are cognates. February, March, April, May, June, July. So this should be pretty easy for you. And then down at the bottom, it has the numbers all written out for you so that they'll fit into the square from the first page. And what I did was, I took mine and cut them all out. Since the order of the days never changed, I glued those on. And then these, you can use tape. I used a little bit of Velcro so that you can change these around. And I put mine onto there so that I could change it later. I've got all of my months up here. And I put this onto a folder. And on the other side of the folder, I put a little envelope so that I can keep all of the months. Or if I have a month with just 30 days, I can keep that in my envelope too. And it's all sealed up in a folder. I can get to it any time, and I can change it so that I can make each month correct in Spanish. Okay? You guys go ahead and do that. You know, another thing that you might want to do is take one and maybe blow it up. I don't mean blow it up, I mean enlarge it so that you can use it in your classroom. And that way you can make a point of doing the calendar every day in Spanish. Well, it's time for our despedida for today. For today, I would like to sing De Colores. That's the song that we sang last time. Okay? And this is a very popular song in many parts. I know in El Paso, a lot of people liked it. And down in New Mexico, it's almost the state song of New Mexico. Okay? So you ask a lot of people there and they'll tell you. If you can, please sing along with me. Canten conmigo. De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De colores son los pajarillos que vienen de afuera. De colores es el arco iris que vemos lucir, y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Canta el gallo con el kirikiri, kirikiri. La gallina con el cara, 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 cara. Los polluelos con el pío, 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 pío. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Until next time, adiós, nos vemos.